Is Huntsville, Alabama safe? That's the number one question I get from people that are looking to move to the area. And today we're going to go over that. I'm going to tell you if Huntsville's safe. I'm going to talk about some of those crime statistics been published by the police here in Huntsville. And we're going to talk about how Huntsville compares to other cities. That way you get a better sense of whether or not Huntsville's safe, going to be the right fit for you. And lastly, you want to stay tuned because I'm going to talk about how you can get information about specific neighborhoods if you really want to drill down to that level of detail if you're considering the move here. Hi, I'm Cameron Walker, your favorite Huntsville realtor, and my mission here is to bring you accurate and timely information about Huntsville and the surrounding areas so that you can make an informed decision when it comes time to buying your next home. Today, we're going to talk about safety and crime statistics in Huntsville. Mayor Tommy Battle recently gave the State of the City address, and in it, he talked about how Huntsville is, on average, safer than many other cities throughout the U.S. When I have people call me or text me or email me about moving to the area, one of the things they reference is the information they see online. And frequently that shows Huntsville, say, like a B or a C rating when it compares to other cities similar size when it comes to the crime statistics. And I myself, I've been all over town as a realtor at all hours of the day, and I've never found myself in a situation where I felt threatened or if I was worried about anything. So if my personal, approach to life and what I've experienced matches up better with what the mayor's saying, why are we seeing so much negative information online? So I dug into it because, I really want to know what's going on here so that I can give you that accurate and timely information. So, first off, we've seen a dramatic drop in Huntsville crime rates over the last decade. And even going from 2021 into 2022 full numbers, we saw significant drops in both violent and nonviolent crime. We were already below the national average. So, again, why are we seeing online so many different websites that show that we're, not a safe place to live or there's not many safe places in Huntsville? So, digging into it, what I found out is, like typical, a lot of the people that write these are either bloggers or authors or writers, but they don't really have a background in looking at statistics and looking at data. And I do have that background. What I noticed is they tend to compare Huntsville to cities of similar size when it comes to population. But when I say cities, they're actually including suburbs. So, like, I'm going to use Dallas, Texas as an example. Dallas has several suburbs with 200,000 plus residents, just like Huntsville has. But they're suburbs. They're not cities. They don't have urban areas, anything like that. But if you were to compare Huntsville to those suburbs, yes, they are going to have a lower crime rate. But if you compared it to Dallas itself, Dallas's crime rate's actually double the national average. So when you're comparing city to city, even though Dallas has a significantly higher population, it's still an apples to oranges comparison, whether it's Huntsville to Dallas or Huntsville to one of their suburbs. When you compare Huntsville to some of the other cities that are similar in size but truly are cities, think Richmond, Virginia, Tacoma, Washington, Baton Rouge, you will see that Huntsville, on average, has a lower crime rate than those areas. And, that's a much more fair comparison. First off, some of those cities are here in the Southeast. The other thing is they're true cities. They have urban areas, they have suburban areas, neighborhoods, they have business districts and warehouses. And that's a lot more comparable when you're talking about comparing these different cities and their crime rate. You need to factor all that in. If it's all neighborhoods and grocery stores, that's different than if you've got warehouses and industrial areas, older downtown areas. Those things they're not apples to apples. So digging into the data, that's what I found. But when you compare Huntsville to other cities its size, much like our mayor said, you are going to find that Huntsville's below the average for the crime rate and statistics. And we're below the national average anyway. But if you start throwing in cherry picking like suburbs and throwing them in, yeah, it's going to throw off the data. That's what we're seeing online. So when we talk about, so why does Huntsville have such a good crime rate? Really, it's just the police involvement in the city. There's a lot of different touch points between the police department and the residents and citizens in the Huntsville area. There's a lot of ways the community can get involved with the police. There's different organizations you can join. There's different programs that the police lead, and there's different mixed programs where a lot of it is actually led by some of the residents. So I'm gonna give you some links in the description to all that information so you can check it out, as well as the crime reports from 2001 and 2021 and 2022. So you can see that where all those numbers dropped, and you're not just taking my word for it. This comes directly from the police department. It's also going to have some additional information about those programs like we talked about. So if that's how Huntsville compares to other cities in the national average, okay, What about neighborhoods? Now, this is an area where it gets a little tricky as a realtor. In my licensing law, I can't steer you towards or away from a community based on things like crime statistics. And quite frankly, I don't have them. The way Huntsville goes about it, starting in January 2018, they quit publishing like neighborhood or area specific crime statistics. They do an annual report that everybody can get. But if you want those area specific or neighborhood or even property specific crime reports, you can actually go to the liaison officer for your precinct. I'm going to put a map up towards the end of the video. It's going to show you where the different precincts are. And then you would just call the liaison officer there and you would get that information from them. So it is available. It's just not online published. And I wouldn't be able to give it to you anyway because that would be considered steering. But I know you want to get that information if you're looking to move here because who doesn't want to live somewhere that's safe? So I hope this is helpful for you, helped you, get a better understanding of what Huntsville's like, the safety, and why there's a discrepancy between what we say and the numbers and what you may see online. So if you got questions, give me a call, text, or email. I'm here to answer them for you.
Check out some of my other videos to learn more.